problem. Hello, everyone. We are going to start our today's lab seminar less in 5 minutes. So we still have 5 minutes. If you have any questions, you can ask me in the comment place, or later you can add my WeChat or WhatsApp. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Good evening. Next week is Chinese New Year, and I wish everyone happy Chinese New Year if you're in China. So enjoy your holiday. If you're in Singapore, I think you still have 2 days holiday, right? So in Chinese New Year as a break time, it's a great chance you can gather together with your family members. And even for kids, I just had one of my lessons with my students. They're super happy. Yes. But if you already registered for our mock test, remember to remind your kids to finish that one. I know it's almost Chinese New Year. A lot of kids they're almost they don't want to do anything. But this will be a great chance for them to have a test. What is their basic ability? Is that okay for them to directly get into the P4 SASMO? We can see. Okay, last 2 minutes. Okay, waiting for 2 more minutes. I will directly start it. Oh yeah, even you are not available today is okay, because I think we also have the record. Today's webinar I will give it in English. If some of you need it, after Chinese New Year, maybe I can give you one more for Chinese. It's okay. The basic things are the same. One more minute. So excited. Okay, we will enjoy it this evening. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to our today's webinar about everything you get to know about P4 SASMO. I know some of you already let your kids join the SASMO before, but some of you is the first time. No matter the first time or second time or even the third, fourth time, it's okay. I will tell you everything you should know about SASMO today. Today, firstly, who I am. I'm teacher Charis. Now I'm teaching the P4 online course in Sync Academy. And exactly, I'm in charge of the P4 MHA course. Okay, today we will basically cover 4 points. This point, firstly, what is SASMO? What is the basic structure of it? What is the award for that? Secondly, what's the meaning? Why it's so important to let kids participate in SASMO? No matter you are the first time or the second time. Is that a valuable case to participate in? Okay, and third part is a very special part because it's not my personal job. It's combined of our Sync Academy. We have a very strong analysis team help us to analyze this the past 8 years from 2014 to 2022 SASMO past year paper. So we can get some very useful conclusion from that, which will help us to guide students, get kids how to prepare for our 2025 P4 SASMO. If you're okay, let's get started for the first section. For the SASMO, and I just want to stress one point. SASMO, of course, is a very famous competition. Maybe it's one of the most important and the biggest math competition around Asia. If I just want to see one point, I think it's as a combined school and Olympic math. That is really important because exactly the SASMO is not a pure math Olympic competition, which means it's not so hard. It's not always talking about math Olympic questions. Half of it still based on the school syllabus, which means even your kids haven't learned any Olympic math before, it still gave you a chance to have a try. And this test result also will be helpful for you to prepare the PSLE or the other competition. Okay, that is a basic introduction. And there's some details about that. For example, when we join the SASMO, can we join this competition? Actually, the SASMO already open for register now, and it will end for March 10th this year. However, the exactly opening day, we didn't get this exactly information, but usually we are held on late March or early April. For example, last year it held on 2024, March 31. I think this year will still be the same, just 1 week or 2 week difference. Who could join in? Anyone, if you are in Singapore, feel free to join in, no matter you are in Singapore public school or international school. If you are outside, you are overseas students, for example, you are in China, it's okay, you can still join. But when you register it, you need to register by yourself in the online website. For the registration details, I will not speak too much here. I will send it into the group if you really need it, okay? Or you can feel free to contact with me. And the last 2 points is really important. I think most of the parents really curious about that. What is the format of that? Basically, one SASMO test will have 90 minutes with 25 questions. 25 questions, I think it's not too much, it's not too light. It concludes 15 multi-choices questions like A, B, C, D, and 10 open-ended questions. If you're in Singapore, we will take the in-person paper-based exam. And there's 25 questions are really interesting because when we mark down students' final result, there's a very, very interesting structure. The structure is we have the section A and B. For section A, you got it correct, you will earn 2 points. However, if you got incorrect for one wrong answer, you will be deducted for 1 more point. Section B is quite normal. For you got a correct answer, you got 4 points. You got a wrong answer, you got 0, you got nothing. However, Very special thing is that initially every case will have 15 marks, why 15 points. Why? Because that is this competition designed like so, because they want to give the students more confidence to encourage them to do this competition. So initially everyone already have 15 points. You can tell your kids about this point. So no worry too much. At least you have some points. Just go on, try your best. It's enough. Okay, that is the basic structure of that. And some of you maybe ask, I want to take part in, but if I just join, how could I get a prize? Here you are. In a word, the SASMO is a very friendly competition. Why? Look at this statistic here. 40%. Top 40%. You already can get a prize. And of course, the first level is very difficult, a perfect score, which means you need to get full mark. There's only one student in 2024 P4 SASMO, only one student. It's really hard. I think it's still very hard for this year. But I wish for someone, you may try to get it. And if you got top 8%, you're already on the gold medal, gold award. Next 12%, silver. Next 20%, bronze award. When we think about the SASMO competition, which means if you can try your best, if you already learned something before, you already prepare and pay your effort, normally you can get an award from that. But it's not 100%. You still need to pay your effort on that. And even you're not on the top 40%, you can still get an honorable mention for next 10% or the participation for the rest of them. And there's one more additional awards for you to get 40%, the top 40%. If you got gold, silver, bronze, or you will be invited to participate in the Singapore International Math Olympic Challenge. And for gold and silver award winner, you will be invited to International Junior Math Olympic. That is the others. If you are interested about that, you can talk to me later. And that is the basic thing you need to know about SASMO. And I know some of the parents will say, oh, I think it's not enough. What SASMO paper really look like? We do prepare the past year paper. So if you, until now, you don't have any people SASMO past year paper, scan this QR code. No matter it's WeChat or WhatsApp, add my WeChat or WhatsApp, I can send it for you. It's free. Okay? It's our Think Academy prepared for all the parents, all the kids. Okay? Feel free to take it. And let the kids do several of the papers. I believe you and kids will understand everything. Next section, we will talking about why we let kids join SASMO. There will be several reasons. But firstly, I want to ask, okay, for some of the parents you are listening now, how many of you, not how many, is there anyone, your kids didn't take any Olympic math competition before, or you haven't learned the Olympic math before? If you are, I have to see, congratulations. You're on the right place. Because the SASMO in this place, I just personally, I got 3 words for that. Accessible, empowering, and engaging. In this case, I don't want to speak too much about what the SASMO look like. I want to share with you a story. This story exactly a student in my class. It's a girl, I didn't say her name. And I think her performance in my lesson is average, not too bad, not too good. However, I just noticed she don't have the enough confidence when we giving the lesson. Every time I put her on my stage and I ask her a question, she can. But before she see the answer, she will also always think, am I right? Am I good enough? So I talked with her parents. The parents also told me I didn't let her to join any math competition before because I think maybe it's too hard for her. Maybe he's not eligible for it. However, I highly recommend her to join the SASMO competition. Guess what? I still remember at that day, her mom take a picture and send several messages to me. Tell me, okay, oh my God, Teacher Terrace, you know how satisfied, how excited she is. And from after that, I think that prize really gave my students some confidence. And I can feel that every day in my lesson, she become more active for that. Okay, so I really feel the changing happen after kids feel this sense of achievement in the competition. So I also highly recommend for those kids the first time to join the competition, do it, take it. This competition will make you satisfied. Okay, it's a great chance, right? And remember, one more thing is that if the kids haven't joined any competition before, remember how many minutes for one SASMO test it takes. 90 minutes. Normally for a school lesson, it's covered by around 40 minutes, I guess. If you can let kids concentrate for 90 minutes, exactly, it's a great challenge, even for P4 kids. So let kids concentrate for 90 minutes, already a great achievement. For every kid already joined the SASMO and finish all the questions, I have to see big thumbs up. Already very good. I think it's much more meaningful than the kids get a award or not. Okay, that is some general things. Another part is if your kid already took part in the SASMO before in your P3, P4 level, or you already learned some Olympic math knowledge before. How could I position this competition? What is the SASMO? Is that very good? Is that hard? Is that easy? Okay, now I want to suggest what is the mean competition in our upper primary level. Let's separate the lower primary and upper primary. Usually, when kids are from the primary P1 to P3, we will call it as the lower primary. When they get into the P4, P5, even P6, we call it as the upper primary. You will find in the upper primary, I use the right color to highlight three different competition. We call it as the three mean competition in Singapore. They are, let me show you the details of that. The APM, OPS, RMO, and the NMOS. For these three competition, why they are so important? As you can see, the organizer. You should be familiar with that. All of them are very famous school. And previously, the kids can join the NMOS for P4 level, but from this year, only the P5 students can join. Here we go. I wish you can notice the last row. I just marked down the difficulty level with the star. The first one is already the 5-star. Second one, 6-star. The NMOS is the 4-star. I want to ask you, everyone, guess SASMO is how many star? How many stars does SASMO have? 3, 4, 5, or 1? One is not just 1 star. The SASMO, this competition at least, I think have the 3-star difficulty level. So which means it's slightly easier than NMOS. But if we take the SMKC, the Singapore Math Kangaroo, that math competition as example, that is only 2 stars. So which means it's a normal level. It will be a great chance for kids the first time join. Okay, and if you already have the experience to taking the competition, I highly recommend this time you just set your goal as the gold medal. Why? When you set a high level object, finally, it will be easier for you to get into the high level, especially when you prepare the SASMO. It's also a help for you in the future to prepare their 3 mean competition. And for their 3 mean competition, I just take 3 words for that. They are invitation, high value, and difficult. High value and difficult, I think I don't need to say too much. Invitation, which means it's apart from SASMO, you can register it by yourself. For this 3 mean competition, usually it will invitation or organized by school. Okay, the school will help you to sign up for the competition. Okay, that is everything for kids why they need to join. And when we think about the NMOS, why I said it's the 4 stars level and I said the SASMO is a 3-star level, we do some analyze. Let's check it. For example, this page show you what's the difference between P4, P5 NMOS competition and our SASMO. I just marked down some of the points, the NMOS test, but not in SASMO. Why? Some of the P4 level, but some of them are purely Olympic math competition, Olympic math competition knowledge. So for that part, the SASMO will not cover. So you can see there's so many knowledge points. It's not tested in SASMO, so no worry about that. Okay, the next part is a very exciting moment. I will share with you our analysis result. I think it will be very helpful. When we analyze, we take all the P4 and P5 paper from 2014 to 2024, and we analyze the question one by one, and we mark down what is the value, what is the ability, what is the topic, what is the difficulty level of that, and finally, we got some conclusion, okay? The firstly is that we found what is the most important part in P4 SASMO. Word problems and combinatoric. If I have one more, that is counting. Okay. So next time, if you want to ask me what is the most important part in SASMO P4 level, yeah, here's the answer: word problems, combinatorics, and countings. For word problems, I don't worry too much because usually if kids even they are just learn everything in school, you already learn a lot of word problems. Combinatorics, this part is quite flexible, so it's trying to testing kids' thinking ability. And finally, counting, a very classical and important section. Next one is the difference in modules composition of lower and upper primary SASMO. If you kids joined the SASMO last year, I think you kids in the P3 level, right? What's the difference? You can see the main difference is for the upper primary, we are much more focused on counting and number theory, especially the number theory. Why this part is so important? Recently, our long-term course are teaching the prime number, composite number, prime factorization, and for example, such knowledge. We found the reason why number theory is so hard is it needs some abstract thinking. But abstract thinking is not about knowledge. It's about thinking. It takes time, takes kids' effort, practice every day, think it actively, and then the kids can get this ability. That is what our course highly valued. So if you are curious about number theory, you can add me my WeChat or WhatsApp later, because recently we are just learn about that one, about number theory. Very important. And here's one more thing about level 1 and the level 2 difficulty, because we got the 2 parts. Usually it's the same as we did before. Calculation, number theory, word problem, combinatorics are very important. Here's a table we just listing out all the key topics that is often tested in our P4 SASMOs. We separate into the calculation, combinatorics, counting, geometry, number theory, word problem. There's 6 parts. And I think this table can give us some insight of what the P4 SASMO really test. And no worry, about the analysis is our teacher's job. But how could we use this analysis result to help our kids? Here we go. We get a final conclusion here. Here is the key point we found out. In the P4, not only P4, but P4 and P5 SASMO test, these topics are frequently tested. Which means what? If your kids can handle this topic, not all the topic, just the right one, you already can get a very good grade, like the combination, calculation, word problems, and we also have the counting, geometry, and number theory. Like I mentioned before, why counting is so important and increasing important in our upper primary level. You can see what type of topics tested in the counting parts. We got counting figures, statistical graphs, enumeration, splitting numbers, all of them in the topics level, they are the countings. Okay? And like I mentioned before, the number theory. I wish this one could be helpful. Okay? And that is the frequently tested topic for our past year. And the right one, which means that every year for the past 3 years, always test this. So important. The last part, how could we use our analysis result to help our kids? Okay? How could our Think Academy help students to get ready for our 2025 SASMO? We do have some preparation, and you all know, here's the detailed steps. I think, as I mentioned before, usually the SASMO test will at the end of March and early April. We prepare a lot of things from January to March. January is almost the end. Next week is our Chinese New Year. But some of you maybe already participate into our activity. Like today's lecture, today's webinar is one of that, to tell you some key points of that. If you haven't joined our SASMO mock test January, I highly recommend you do so, because that is the first time to give you evaluation result about how about my kids' strengths and weakness. And in the later our short-term course, maybe kids can do more practice on that part. Okay? And let me briefly introduce for the February, what do we have? We have the short-term course. Exactly, that is the main part to help kids focus on the area needing improvement. We will try to cover all the topics we mentioned before, especially the frequently tested topics. And we will have one more round mock test in our February. So if you missed our first round, you still have the chance. Today is not too late. Okay? And in the March, we have one more round mock test, the gold medal intensive course, and the pre-exam lecture. I think that will be helpful. I have some details to share about you. Firstly, if you already joined our January, I mentioned about the foundation building section, the mock test. Remember, once you register our mock test, you will see a page like that. And we set our mock test here, the homework part. We set it like a pre-class test, which means you can finish it whenever you want, just before this month 27th, because 27th exactly next week Monday I will give my explanation for the whole paper. And when you click it, don't click the star if you kids haven't prepared for that, because once you click the star, it will start to count. Okay, just remember that point. Next part is our February skill enhancement part. And I mentioned we have a short-term course. Although we didn't have too much, we haven't settled down the final time for that. We will publish later in our group. But the briefly structure for what we will teach. We will design the 3 lessons. Each lesson will cover 100 minutes. And I promise all the topics are very, very important. The first section is like arithmetic sequence, pattern recognition, and some word problems. Kids are familiar with that, so they will be very happy to join. And later, we will get into a little bit difficult. And even for the geometry part, some of the questions the kids may or haven't learned before. So based on my opinion, I think we don't need to do too much things. Just focus on the most important sections. Okay? And lastly, when we get into our March, it's the final push level. Remember to join our mock test. And we also have a gold medal short-term course. However, for that course, we have a selection. We will have a selection, and the class set will around 12 to 20 students, not too much. So it's really, really great chance. But if you want really, your goal is to try to get the gold medal. Okay? Exactly. That is everything for today's webinar. And let me have a brief conclusion here. We know what is the SASMO. SASMO for this level course, just don't forget to register it before the March 10th. Registration details I will publish later. And for format, 90 minutes, 25 questions for 2 parts. Part A, only multi-choice questions. Part B, there will be some open-ended questions. You can check over past year paper at my WeChat or WhatsApp. And it's very easily to get awards just to make sure your case is the top 40%. It's okay. And based on my experience and a lot of parents and kids experience, joining SASMO will be a great preparation for your kids to taking the high level math competition. It's great preparation, a great chance to review, and based on our analysis, we also stress what is the key point in SASMO, word problems, combinatorics, counting. Exactly. And finally, that is our preparation steps. I wish today's lecture could be helpful for everyone. Okay, let me check if you have any questions. If you have any questions, you can send me later. Oh, yes, I got a message to ask me, may I share the slides in the group? Yeah, okay. Later I can share that. The screen is a little bit blurred. Oh, I understand. Maybe I think that is the internet connection problems. No worry about that. Okay. Finally, I will leave the page for my personal WhatsApp and WeChat. You can scan it and add my WeChat or WhatsApp. I will stay here for 8 o'clock. And if you have no problem, no questions, I will just stop here. Okay? If you have any question, feel free to send in the comment. I can see that. If you don't have any questions, we will just stop here at 8 o'clock. So happy to have this wonderful evening with all of you. Okay, one last minute. Oh, yeah, I got a question how to sign up for the mock test. Mock test, we have a link, and exactly that product is on our website, Think Academy Singapore website. And I think the best way is you add my WeChat or WhatsApp, and I will give you the link directly. However, it's not in your convenience. You can try to get into our website, our official website. I think we have some support team will help you to send that link. Okay. So there's the one last minute. If It's okay. I want to see Happy New Year to everyone. Okay, it's an early Happy New Year. But I really wish everyone to gather together with your family members. Wish all the kids could take this time to have a good rest. And in the February, we will prepare together. And if you join our mock test, don't forget to get into the this month 27 exactly next Monday. I will give the explanation for the paper. But if you're not on your convenience, it's okay. We also have the record. So that is everything for today. Okay. Bye bye. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope the kids could have good results. Bye.